Okay guys, how's it going? This is me here, HighHorse, bringing you one of my new videos I've been wanting to do from the new content that I discussed in my update video. This is going to just kind of be a quick review over the Star Wars Force Awakens trailer I saw. Uh, the trailer itself opens up with just a desert, which what looks like to be Ren, if I remember her name, on her little speeder thing going through the desert. And it starts off showing a X-Wing, and then you pan over, and it shows this like just huge out of focus Star Destroyer, Imperial class Star Destroyer I should say, just crashed on the planet. And the planet itself isn't Tatooine, it's actually Jakku, that has been introduced into the Star Wars universe. And apparently you won't actually get an explanation of what happened, but maybe hints here and there, but really, if you play the game when it comes out, by what I understand, you're actually going to get to relive that battle. So I found that kind of neat that they're actually going to tie in somewhat the game to the movie, just to bridge that gap. And then after that, you get this scene with just this Darth Vader helmet, and for some reason, this scene just sticks with me whenever I think of this trailer. It's just this scorched helmet of Darth Vader after the events of Return of the Jedi when Luke burned his body. It's just being held right there. I'm assuming someone's obsessed with it, wanted to collect it or something, and they are just looking at it. Because, I mean, it's just something about this once great Jedi known as Anakin Skywalker is later brought to the dark side, and now all that's left is just his scorched helmet. Now, I don't know about you, but that's just kind of haunting for me. It haunts me right now as I think about just seeing this great Jedi, and all that's left is just behind just this helmet. I really want to know what they did with the rest of the body. I mean, what about the rest of the armor? Bones? They're going to take his whole body? Are they going to clone him? Recreate him, maybe? Who knows? But I doubt it's going to happen. I doubt Darth Vader's going to be in it. I mean, I understand there's the commentary or monologue going on over it of Luke kind of I don't even know if it's reworded or not, but he's mentioning some lines that he said from Return of the Jedi when he's talking to Leia about how he has the Force, his father has the Force, it's strong in his family, and you have it. And he mentions just how his father has it, so it's like, is his father still alive? Anything? But if I remember correctly, Anakin became a Force, I think a Force Walker, I don't exactly remember what they're called, but they can live on past the Force, so I mean, technically he would still have the Force in him, but who knows. But after that scene with the helmet, it goes to a really nice shot, and there's quite a lot of nice shots just in this trailer. One of them belongs to the X-Wing, the other one's, there's a flying scene with the Millennium Falcon, but this scene has R2-D2 and what I'm assuming is Luke Skywalker since it's a robotic hand, and who else would R2 be with? I mean, I don't see him being with a Sith at all, and he's very loyal to Luke. I mean, he's loyal to Leia too, maybe not so much Han, but him and Luke are like best friends. I mean, they're like family pretty much, and Luke wants to take care of R2-D2, so I'm assuming that that's Luke sitting right there as a cloaked figure, and like I said, the robotic right hand is a different hand, but over time, who knows? And plus, who else is there that Luke could go into exile with besides R2-D2? I don't see him going with Leia or Han. I don't even see him going with C-3PO. C-3PO would probably just be talking all the time. R2 would at least be right there sitting next to him. It's like, hey, I'm joining you on this exile. Or if whatever it is, we don't even know if Luke went on exile. All we know is that supposedly Luke's disappeared since the events of Return of the Jedi. And so, after that, there's another scene where there's this figure giving a lightsaber to someone else, and by the looks of it, it's Luke's lightsaber. If you've heard from what happens after Cloud City, after Luke gets his hand cut off in Empire Strikes Back, his hand and lightsaber fall from Cloud City, apparently. I don't know if it's supposed to be Cloud City, I don't remember, but by what I've heard it's Cloud City, and it falls into this village below that. So that makes me wonder if they're going to do something like they did with It's Late, I think Last Command. Jorus C'baoth and them clone Luke from his hand that they find. And so Jorus C'baoth's controlling this cloned Luke, fighting the real Luke. And that cloned Luke has Luke's old lightsaber. So I'm wondering if they're going to throw in a clone there, and if they do throw in a clone, maybe that clone is a supposed Sith Lord that people rumor Luke to be, which I doubt, because Luke is supposed to be the somewhat uncorruptible Jedi human being out there. You can't corrupt him, but anyone's corruptible, so we will have to wait and see and find out. Then there was two other scenes I actually wanted to mention. There's a scene with the X-Wings, and this scene just is magnificent. I'll throw in a picture, but it's just all these X-Wings just over the water, and the water's just coming up as all these X-Wings are flying over it, and one of the pilots just looks so ecstatic to be there. I don't know why, it's absolutely beautiful. I enjoy it. I think it's gonna look great. And then after this, I keep laughing every time I see it, but there's this scene where there's all these stormtroopers, and it looks like some World War II Nazi stuff going on here. They're all standing in line above like this platform, and it's on an ice planet. I don't know what, or snow planet, whatever you want to say, it is, but it's either, I'm assuming it's either going to be maybe Ilum, because Ilum was a snow planet if I remember correctly. There's Hoth, and then there's Rinvar, so I'm assuming it's one of those three. I don't think it's Hoth, because if I remember correctly, Hoth is not exactly mountainous like this one looks, so I'm assuming maybe Ilum or Rinvar. Because if I remember, Rinvar's actually has some fairly big mountains, and so does Ilum, because Ilum has all the caves where you go and find the crystals for the lightsabers. But going back to what I was saying earlier, is all the stormtroopers are just right in front of this platform. It looks like what seems to be speaking, and in the background you see like this tall figure, so I'm assuming like maybe this is like the leader, the new emperor or something, or a Fuhrer. I don't know, maybe that's what they're gonna go with. But the stormtroopers just turn around, and I don't mind the new looks, but I don't know why, I just found it funny, because right when they turn around, their new masks look like they have a little smile, and they just look so happy to be there. It's like, yeah, I'm working for the Empire. I mean, just take a look at this picture. It's so funny that every time I see it, it's just like, oh, maybe they're going to say the Wilhelm scream. They're going to be like, wee! Instead of, ah! And so, I don't know. The scene looks great, but I just found that part to look funny. And, I don't know, just that smile. They look so happy to be there. And then, after that, there's two other scenes. There's one where it looks like there's some new ships that got thrown into it. There's a Star Destroyer, and it looks like a Gladiator Star Destroyer, which really isn't shown much, but that's what this looks like to be. And there's another shot with a chrome soldier. Now, the only thing I can think of this to be is like maybe this is like a commando, like they had the Republic commandos during the Clone Wars. This is a soldier that, you know, it's higher up, commands the others, or maybe this is the new, I don't know, Boba Fett type figure. Who knows? I'm kind of interested. The thing looks cool. It has like this black cape with like a red outline, kind of like a Doctor Who with the Master, how he had that jacket with the red trimming and stuff like that. I mean, it looked absolutely amazing. I'm interested to see what this soldier, who this soldier is. I mean, it looks like a badass. I hope it's not one of those things where it's just thrown into the movie for like the first couple of seconds and then killed. It's just like, hey, it looks in the trailer, it looked cool. So who knows? And then, of course, there's the final scene, which I actually liked, or one of the two final scenes, but it's a really neat shot of a TIE fighter chasing the Millennium Falcon into what looks to be engines of an old ship. I mean, it looks like it's on Jakku, so I'm assuming it's like a, I don't know, some Star Destroyer, and it's flying into the old engine, and it's being chased, and it's really reminiscent of, like, older scenes, like, probably the main one is the Millennium Falcon flying through the Death Star, being chased by the TIE fighters. And the TIE fighters themselves actually have a new, kind of unique look. They look more sleek to me. A little bit blackish gray, which looks actually very interesting. The Millennium Falcon looks the same. Why would you change it? It's perfect how it is. Which I found interesting is that they really didn't do much change. They just kind of updated what they're going to look like to like make them look more modern, look a little bit more nicer, but still overall keep the same look. So that was a really neat scene, just seeing the Millennium Falcon actually flying away, because the Millennium Falcon's always flying away from something, being chased. And then, of course, it comes to the final scene after the end of it all, and there's Han and Chewie. Chewie doesn't look like he's aged a day. His life set's still going on, and Han looked like he's aged 30 years, which is supposed to be what it is. And I just found that really neat. He looks so excited and everything. He's just like, Chewie, we're home. And that was, I thought that was perfect, just the way to end it. I was like, I'm glad to see them actually show Han Solo in this. Maybe a little bit of Luke. I was wondering if that's what they were going to do with this, or if they were going to straight up show new characters, but they showed Han. I was like, you know what? This seems perfect. I'm not worried about this. I think the movie will be fine. I understand other people are upset because the whole thing of throwing out the expanded universe not being canon anymore, but it was never considered canon by George Lucas. I get it. I've read the Zahn books. They're absolutely amazing. I encourage anyone to go read them if you love Star Wars and you like to read. But if it was me, I think if I was going to do something like Zahn's universe, I mean, the Thrawn trilogy goes 3 books. There's 2 books after that that's continue it a little bit after the events of the Thrawn trilogy. There's Visions of the Future and Spectres of the Past, and then there's Outbound Flight. To me, personally, I think if they were going to want to do something like that, they would need to do a series. I think that's the only way that you could do Thrawn's trilogy justice, is to just make a series out of all those books. Because there's just so much that goes on in those books that 3 movies could not cover it. You'd have to do 6 movies. And every 3 movies are different. The first 3 are Clone Wars, or depending on how you look at it, the first 3 were technically 4, 5, and 6. But those were those were Luke and his friends, and that was about them. Then the next 3 from Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, that was about Obi-Wan and Anakin. And these ones look like they're about these new characters. You know, Ren, maybe some Han and Luke here, but there's different stars for this one. And so I think if they were going to do Zahn's trilogy, it would need to be a TV show. So that's just my thought on it. I enjoyed what I saw with the trailer. I think it'll be fine. Put down in the comments what you guys thought. Tell me if you're going to enjoy it. Tell me if you're still skeptical, if you're going to go see it. If you're not going to go see it, tell me why. I'm just curious. I know there's 12 of you, but if you guys still like Star Wars, I would like to know why you guys won't see it, why you will see it, if you're skeptical, and what you thought about it. But I will leave it at that, and I will see you guys in my next video.